Hello everybody, what is up? This is Jermaine and we're getting ready to jump into Game 8 of the best of 9 between the two Taldarim players, Premasiri and Demsale. And actually we're going to go ahead and jump right into it before we do any more talking about the game up here in the top right hand corner, because God forbid they don't pause in this game. We have the blue Taldarim player. It is Premasiri. And the bottom right hand corner, the red Taldarim on the map, Taldarim altar. It is the red Taldarim, Demsale. Alright, this map is so old. Remember when this map came out, everybody was like, oh, this map's so good, thank God Blizzard likes macro maps. And then now we're like, they have rocks. It's so bad. Excuse me, sorry, my mic just kind of freaked out there for a minute. But this is Game 8, the score currently 3-5 in favor of Premasiri. Premasiri was down 1-3 or back in Game 4 when Demsale was only 2 games away from victory, but he has since bungled his league. Does he come back in this game, or does he fall to Premasiri and lose all sorts of bragging rights with his real-life best friend? This has been a really good match, and this is actually something I would love for these players to wager money on. If Premasiri or Demsale, you guys watch this, bet like $10 between the two, and we'll make it a cute little show match, and it'll be just tons of fun, guaranteed. So this was actually a lot of fun to cast. These guys have been great, and I'm really actually hoping Demsale pulls this game out so we can have an epic Game 9. I'm not quite sure what we're going to see here. Premasiri going for that standard 1 Rax on 12 and the Gas on 13. Would not be half surprised at all if this guy went for the 1 Rax Reaper expand that we see oh so common here. But out of Demsale, not a whole lot going on, and we are going to see the command center first, because he was over 400 minerals for the longest period of time. He was really high in minerals for a while, always indicative of the command center first. So if this game gets to go on for too much longer, if this command center first goes unpunished, this could give Demsale a huge propeller into the late game against Premasiri. Premasiri opting for the Rax and the Reaper first. There is the Tech Lab, so we are going to be seeing that Reaper more than likely. Keep in mind, a game or two ago, not too long ago, it was 2 games ago, because the last game was 2 minutes long. A game ago, this Reaper was actually canceled, and Premasiri actually just made combat shield and a Marine. So very unorthodox style that we saw that game, but it looks like Demsale going to get his 2 barracks up now shortly after that conferred command center first that went down, and there is the gas geyser. So very standard play. Going to be getting his tech up very shortly. He's still very vulnerable, and when Premasiri scouts his command center first, he could be very scared here. He's going to know, because that command center is going to be so close to finishing that it's going to be oh, there you went command center first. Well, now that the Reaper is out on the field, that Reaper is going to go up and attempt to do some damage. And here is the SCV that is out to plop down the command center. Could plop it down any time now. Wouldn't be surprised if he waited only a couple more seconds. Now up to 500 minerals. But here is the Reaper going to take some pot shots at some SCVs. Remember, 3 kills from a Reaper. 3 shots from a Reaper to kill an SCV. Now, Reapers have these grenades that are just so effective against buildings. This Reaper and another Reaper is on the way to join it. And there goes the command center straight away. And this Reaper is really focusing down this command center. I don't know if that's the best option. Should be moving his way inside to the main here. And there's 2 Marines that start attacking the barracks. That's quite funny. But 2 Reapers now will be up here taking pot shots out of this command center. And Reapers do a lot of damage to buildings. Wow, actually, that is quite the amount of damage to buildings. 2 Marines now are out. And what's going to be happening here? Are these Reapers going to continue their aggression? They are pushing in a little bit here. 2 more Marines are about to pop, and this should be enough to defend here if controlled properly by Demsale. But Premasiri is going to retreat before he gets to show off that control, and is going to make his way all the way back to his base. 3rd Reaper is guarding the watchtower, and Premasiri's own command center is about 75% of the way done. So Demsale does do his job, secures this expansion. It's kind of how it feels in ZVZ, the Zerg that does the first hatch. Feels like if he controls that hatch, he wins the game. We'll see if that holds true here for Demsale. Does Demsale, A, hold this command center the rest of the game, and B, does he win the game because of it? Looking back into the base of Demsale, we do see the Tech Lab going down on the factory, as well as the starport being plopped down straight away, so we are going to be seeing a transition into just Marine Tank Medevac. Very standard play. Nothing wrong with that at all. Will remind you a lot of a TVZ matchup, actually. Here come the Reapers again, thinking they're going to swing up here into the main via this cute little ledge. Are the Marines in position? There are no Marines here at all, and that's why that scale from Premasiri went down. Here he goes, going to get up in here, and what kind of damage is he going to do? Going to get one SCV. Is he going to get any more? Oh, going to take out the Tech Lab building on the factory. That is a very nice attack there, and he's got a lot of workers are going to go down here. If he focus fires workers, he could get a few, if not more, and there's 3 workers, 4 workers, 5. Oh my gosh, very nicely done here by Premasiri, doing a lot of early game damage. Checking out how many workers were killed here. 12 workers were killed by Premasiri. Wow. So any kind of early economic advantage that Demsale had, there it goes. Because the command center of Premasiri is up on its own. So he will be having enough workers. How many workers does each player have? 21 to 28. CC first to give you the macro edge, right? LOL. That's actually such good BM. Like, that's his buddy in real life. And it's just like, waka, waka, waka. 9 worker lead now for Premasiri. Premasiri doing work in that mineral field there. And all that was because of no Marines here scattering the edge. You knew he had Reapers. A safe play would have been to put a couple Marines over here on the edge. And actually, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to go ahead and position 4 Marines over there, but that will be too little too late. So Premasiri is going to take in Demsale's all sad face. Premasiri is going to take a very early game lead here. Supply's pretty even, 50 to 51. What is going on in the base of each player? Reacted tanks, reacted barracks is coming out here. 4 Marines at a time, and another starport is going down, and the reactor on the factory. So we are going to be seeing some potential medevac play, medevac drops more than likely, because this factory and this starport are going to be switching out. And then that factory will get a tech lab, and we're going to go Marine tank for both players. We do see Siege Mode and Siege Tanks are on the way, as well as Banshees actually are on the way. The first Banshee is actually already out there, as Demsale's Banshee going to be skirting around the bottom of the map all the way over here. So he has quite the long commute, and we'll be kind of curious to see what kind of damage it can do. Demsale in the first couple of games did a lot of Banshee play without Cloak. Both Premasiri and Demsale did actually a lot of play without Cloak on their Banshees, and I don't know, I've never seen any of these guys make Cloak early game with their Banshees. Must not think it's cost effective, and I guess I can't blame them when they have a strategy of their own. That Banshee decided, no, I'm going to take the short way. And that supply depot is actually in a great position. It's going to scout for him very nicely. Where is this Banshee going to decide to attack? Going to go in here to the natural expansion. There is a turret up already, as well as some Marines actually, so not the best position at all. That Banshee will escape with 2 life. Wow, so close there. Good to get it away. Didn't get any kills at all. And 2 HP, GG. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Marines did go over there to reposition. Very nice game since by Premasiri to just realize, okay, my buddy, he usually likes to swing into the natural. Then he likes to swing right on over here with his Banshee. But he did not do that time, so that Banshee does escape with 2 HP. Will that get repaired? Yes, it will. Very nicely done. We saw this a lot in Game 1, but the repairing of units, and something that never actually happens is people never repair their units, like at all. We do see a big push from Premasiri has made its way out into the middle of the map here. A handful of Marines. How many Marines does he have? 38 are on the field, 31 for his opponent. His opponent also has a Banshee, 2 Banshees, and a couple of tanks. So I feel like this army composition in favor of Demsale, especially with that siege mode. And after seeing that, Premasiri should just back up and go home. But he will not rally Marines and tanks across the map. No, looks like he does decide to turn right around, and quite the wise decision. 58 to 53 is the army supply in favor of Demsale, and Demsale is set up in a very good defensive position. But something we've seen a lot in this series, that Premasiri actually has the better macro than his red opponent, Demsale, because Demsale will often float over 1,000 to 2,000 minerals, where Premasiri is constantly churning out units. Now, it doesn't look that way now because Premasiri has over 800 minerals, so I'm very curious to see what Premasiri plans on doing to not prove me wrong. Keep in mind, this is Game 8 of a best-of-9 series. Demsale on the ropes here, down 3 to 5, so he loses this game. He is done, and Premasiri is the champion of the In Real Life Buddies Challenge 2012. I don't know. He is the champion of that, and they will have bragging rights for years to come. Remember that time I'm Jermaine Castro Games on screen and I beat you? Yeah, you do. That's exactly what he'll talk about for ages. They won't see each other for 30 years, and then Premasiri is still going to bring that up. hard supply block here for Premasiri. 4 supply depots about to finish, but look at all this stuff queued up and just dead. Demsale thinking he's far behind him, when in reality he's actually ahead in supply there. What is his income looking like here? We have 50 workers for Premasiri, 43 for Demsale. Not too bad. What's the income look like? I'll actually pull it up on a cuter display there. Demsale actually with a little bit of a better income at the moment. So not too far behind. I don't even think he's really behind at all. Pretty even game right now. I do love the sensor tower usage out of Premasiri. This is something we have seen constantly throughout this series. Premasiri knowing where his opponent's army is. Go watch the Cloud Kingdom game. That game, it's actually really interesting how good of a usage the Watchtowers played a role in that game of just Premasiri being able to bounce his army back and forth. I'm not going to spoil the results, but you should go watch it because of its great sensor tower usage. 3 sensor towers are up now for Premasiri, as you can see by the large white circles on your minimap. And Demsale trapped on 2 bases here. Not even trapped, he feels trapped. And that's his biggest problem. He feels behind, so therefore he will be behind. Planetary Fortress is now established at the 3rd position. Going to give Premasiri a little bit more of a defensive edge. And here we go with a little handful of Banshees are going to be making their way across the map now. How many are there? There are 5 getting ready to move across the way. Nice defensive position set up here by Premasiri. Good tanks on the edge to scout any kind of thing moving across the map. And Demsale, oh balls, what are you oh ballsing, good sir? I am awfully curious. Very nice usage of the Marine there in the brush to scout any kind of crazy medevacs. And keep in mind, imagine this is the power of the Watchtower. Those Banshees completely scouted. See, he knows 5 Banshees are rolling in, and here come the Marines. They're going to pick these off. Oh my gosh, he gets 1, maybe 2, no. Nice control there by Demsale to pull back at the very last second. And is he going to get a second? He does get a second, but the Banshees in pretty good position up there on top. Now that these medevacs are there, they are actually going to be able to see for the Marines, and the Marines could attack them if they so desired. Scanning by Premasiri tells Demsale to go home because he does not want those Banshees to get picked off. And we do have some more starports on the way, 2 to be exact. And wouldn't be surprised to see him transition into battle cruisers, because he did transition into battle cruisers game 1 because we had a 33-minute max. It was crazy. That ended in a sick... I'm not spoiling it. Go watch game 1. Just go watch it. It's really good, I promise. Right now, the supplies as they stand, 170 to 153 in favor of Demsale. Demsale in a much better position than he would have thought. The command center is going to go down here for Premasiri, his 4th. Keep in mind, Demsale still trapped on 2 bases. These Banshees are going to scout out this 4th base here and take it out pretty quickly. Will it get canceled? More than likely, yes it does. Premasiri on top of his minimap. 2 Vikings are going to go up here and try to take away some of these Banshees. There is no cloak, so these Vikings theoretically should clean all of these up, actually. Would like to see the Banshees just scatter, and actually there they go, making me look like a genius. 2 Banshees do go down here. This looks like this one will get away with his life. Vikings are going to go scout, but more than likely not going to find it given the randomness of that Banshee's path here. Checking out the upgrades as they stand. 1-1 for Premasiri. What are the upgrades for Demsale? 1-0 working on his 1 armor right now and his 2 attack. Stim pack is on the way for Demsale. No stim yet even for Demsale. Wow, actually that's kind of crazy to think about. While stim pack and combat shields are finished for the blue Terran player. These 2 Vikings are on patrol duty. They are going to go over here and probably finally clean up this Viking, or this Banshee, excuse me. Max before stim, standard, yes, very standard indeed. And what is Demsale doing? He had a lot of money to float, and Ox, yeah, pretty awkward indeed when you're building 4 command centers. They're probably morph into planetaries in the middle of the map. That can be pretty awkward indeed. It's kind of a bad situation here for Demsale economically. His opponent is going to be on 4 bases before he is even on 3. That's never where you want to be. The income of Premasiri, actually not a lot of money being banked. Still supply blocked pretty hard, actually. Just finished up a supply depot and will probably be maxed here very shortly, working on his +2/+2. So actually Demsale will have a slight a slight upgrade lead because his Marines will be at 2-1 while his opponent will be at 1-1. But we do have a big drop loading up here, Doomday's drop as I like to call them. But as Demsale moves out into the center of the map here, what army takes the command here and what army wins? Let's look at the army tab before this engagement. 138 to 135. This will come strictly down to the engagement and army comp. Lots of siege tanks here. If Premasiri catches him on siege, this could be a lot better. Looks like we are going to have the move in here for Premasiri. Demsale attacking full on. Better concave for Demsale. Siege tanks shelling absolutely everything. The siege tanks from the top for Premasiri are going to get cleaned up. Oh my gosh. Complete clean of the slate there by Demsale. 140 to 125 is the supply count. Demsale, what's the army count right now? What? Not that big of a deal. 90 to 86. Where is the army? There is a lot of army somewhere for Demsale, or Premasiri, excuse me, somewhere. That command center is going to lift off and run away, and I can't say that I blame it. There's siege tanks and marines. So there's a lot of siege tanks here, and we are having Demsale look like he is going to move up here. What is he going to go after? Going to take out the turret. Knows that there was a base there, but he's not going to catch it. Oh my gosh, and we do have Premasiri get into a very defensive position here at his third. This will come down to this bus. Premasiri actually with the supply lead. What in the world? What kind of macro is this? A second level macro here. Premasiri rallying everything to this third base here. And if this third base gets taken by Demsale, he will be in a much better position. But there's a 40 supply lead for Premasiri. Actually, Demsale, I don't think he could win this if he tried, because you look at the army supply tab, 40 army supply lead here. Demsale's going to move in, moving in. Not even sieging his units up, and the siege tanks alone can win this for Premasiri. Will Premasiri win this best of 9 right here on Taldarim Altar? Marauders coming in from the back, sieged up siege tanks in. Demsale, GG's. Premasiri wins 6-3 in the best of 9. Premasiri, get your party hat on. Get your party hat on, man. And brag to your friend a little bit. The end of that game was pretty sick, actually. He's down by 30 supply, and then he's up by, what's he up by right now? He's up by 40 supply after that last engagement. 40 supply. It's absolutely crazy. Good macro there by Premasiri. Best of luck to both of these players in the future. I really hope you like these videos. If you liked either of these players, let me know, because I'll bug them through Reddit to get more games. I would love to see these guys do another best of 9, kind of like Jersey Shore reunion when that happens in 10 years. It's going to happen in 10 years. Jersey Shore's going to have a reunion show. I'm so sad. But anyway, thank you guys so much for checking this out. Follow me on Twitter at I'mJermaine. Follow me on YouTube. Click the little subscribe button right up there. Check out Team Emanations. I do this wrong every time. There it is. Check out Team Emanations, teamemanations.com. And check out spgl.tv. And I really appreciate it, guys. And good luck. Have fun.